Then Ohakaku Aloha. Welcome to Hongwanji Day Observance held at Puna Hongwanji Buddhist Temple through online, YouTube, and then Facebook. Let us begin this observance with a recitation of the Nembutsu. So please put your hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namanda Buddha. So again, welcome to Hongwanji Day Observance. I don't know how many people watching right now, but I want to share the importance and the significance of today, March 2nd, for not only Hongwanji community, but also for the state of Hawaii, and actually for the entire world. Because of today, this March 2nd is so important. Then let me share the screen. So again, today is Hongwanji Day Observance 2022, March 2nd. So again, to think about why today is Hongwanji Day, let's think about this first. So you are seeing the number March 2nd, 2022. That is today. In Hawaii time, today is March 2nd, 2022. So if we think about this number today, do you think today is something beautiful or blessing, something? Did you find something significant on this day? Could be, I don't know, today can be somebody's birthday or somebody's something important day or something happens, we don't know. But the point I want to share is anything that exists today needs something. Yeah? Anything, anybody, whatever it may be, exists today needs something. Or if I ask yourself, why today you can be here as you are? Or myself too, why today I'm here as I am? I cannot be here by myself, yeah? To have, to be here, to exist today, we need something. So of course, yeah, that is, you can see the line or dash, which means you get the idea, what do we need to have today is, beginning. Whatever again exists today, there was beginning. Myself too, today is March 2nd, 2022, to be here. I needed my birthday. That is, for your information, January 3rd, 1988. That is my beginning. And then through the line or dash, today I'm here as I am. So if you ask yourself, today you are here because you have your beginning of your date of birth. In a similar way, whatever we may have today, my computer, glasses, everything which exists today, they also had the beginning. Also, as a Buddhism teaching, talking about impermanence, everything that had a beginning will welcome ending too. Therefore, our mission or duty is how we are spending our time in this dash line, beginning to, we don't know when it ends, but therefore this line and then dash we have to think about. So again, today, Hongwanji Day, we say March 2nd. So therefore, even to Hongwanji in Hawaii, we had a beginning. So today it is my hope to myself too. We want to discover how wonderful, how beautiful, and then how much, what kind of sacrifice, what kind of dedication, commitment made by past members, ministers, and then past people, so that we can have this beginning. And today we are receiving. Let us find and then discover the beauty of this beginning, why we were able to receive this beginning. And then basically also today, basically my presentation sharing is based on this book. Hope you can see. This is a book composed by the Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii as the Centennial Project. So a grateful past, a promising future. Basically information coming from this book. Also the website from the Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii. So this is one of the book as a reference. So again, according to this book, it is said in this sentence appeared on the evening of March 3rd, 1889, a sound resounded across a tiny island chain in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The sound was that of the gong and the deep rhythmic chanting in Sino-Japanese. It is a sound that has echoed across the tiny island chain ever since. So this is a beautiful description about what happened on March 3rd, 1889. There is something, the sound of bell and then chanting was heard. And from that moment, ever since that moment, every place on the state of Hawaii, there is a gong and then chanting because of this day, March 3rd, 1889. You may be wonder, you are seeing the March 3rd, not March 2nd. Yeah? So this is a reason of our understanding. So this is a key name today. We can remember Reverend Soryu Kagahi. Reverend Soryu Kagahi. So he was so concerned for the thousands of his fellow Japanese who had migrated to Hawaii, who may have been in need of some spiritual support. So he landed on Hawaii on March 2nd. So therefore we call it today, this day is a Hongwanji Day because he came to Hawaii from Japan. And then next morning, tomorrow, he had a service, first service. But the first day he came from Japan was March 2nd, 1889. Therefore, we understand this is a Hongwanji Day, beginning of our Hongwanji in Hawaii. So Reverend Soryu Kagahi, again, according to the history from Japan to Hawaii, so many people came to Hawaii expecting the working and then receiving the salary, and then eventually going back to Japan. However, from the beginning, when they came to Hawaii, that was so different. So hard working and then low salary, and then they had a Luna, so strict supervisors. So life was so difficult. And then some people passing away or getting sick, or some people have had a separation from their loved ones. People went through so many. And that time, of course, one of them is people are looking forward was something spiritual assistance. When they're observing a funeral or separation or life struggles, we want something comfort. We once looking for something peace or tranquility. Then hearing those stories came to Reverend Soryu Kagahi's ears. And then he decided, I should come to Hawaii to offer to help those people who may need of some spiritual support. So he came to Hawaii from Japan and then landed on March 2nd, 1889 again, Hawaii. Therefore, this is our beginning of Hongwanji again. And then during his stay in Hawaii, he built 2 temples. Of course, he met so many people who were waiting for or listen to Buddhism teaching. And then through his conversation and then talking to people already who were in Hawaii, he was able to build two temples. One is in Honolulu, in nowadays Pali Highway. If you live in Honolulu, you can see the white big like a building along the Pali Highway. That is, we call it Honpa Hongwanji Hawaii Betsin. So that is this temple Reverend Soryu Kakahi built was the foundation or beginning of that temple. Also, other is in Hilo, Big Island. Of course, due to the tsunami or tidal wave, the location of the temple in Hilo changed. But again, this was the original temple Reverend Soryu Kakahi built in 1889 as the beginning of the Hirobetsin. Nowadays, Hirobetsin on Kilauea Avenue, that is Hirobetsin, and then this was the original of the building or foundation of those two temples. So Reverend Soryu Kakahi, during his stay, again met the people who were thirsty for the Dharma, and then was able to listen to the teaching from him. Of course, that could be, we can imagine until 1889, could be there some people who were Buddhist, or maybe the minister may be there among those people who came to Hawaii from Japan. But could be he was in a way the authentic or the minister who, as a holding an ordination as a minister, he came to here as a propagation. Therefore, for people really enjoy, listen to his message, and then experiencing the Jodo Shinshu ritual, and then chanting. And then after spending a month, he went back to Japan to make a report. And he had an intention to come back to Hawaii again. However, unfortunately, he never came back to Hawaii. One of the reasons is that it is said when he went back to Japan, to the mother temple, he made a report about his missionary and then propagation achievement. And then he said, it is said he mentioned that in Hawaii, there is already Christianity, the religion. Therefore, he said, to propagate, to share the Buddhism teaching, I'm using Buddha and then God, like a kind of same thing, as an expedient means to explain what is Buddha. I just using already people understand what God is in Christianity. Therefore, I'm saying like a comparison or similar thing to explain what the Buddha is. So this idea or his what he did is something for Mother Temple Hongwanji was really concerned there. Of course, the Reverend Soryu Kakahi understood Buddha and then God is different, but to simply to explain, he used as an example. But again, it is something maybe not appropriate to share the teaching. Therefore, due to he couldn't receive any more support from the Mother Temple. Therefore, he couldn't come back to Hawaii anymore. But that is happening. Therefore, Reverend Soryu Kakahi never came back to Hawaii after his visitation. But because of him, this is our beginning of Hongwanji. And then after he left, so he was a kind of the leader or supposed to be the person who was in charge. However, now he left. And then, although there are some ministers who maintain the temple or conducting services, but there was no, in a way, leader who can guiding people. Therefore, until about 10 years, it is said that truly uncertainties. People didn't know what to do. And then there is no like a group or organization which was active or really propagating. Then, until this person came, the Reverend Shoei Yamada in 1897, he came to Hawaii as first official kaikyoshi, means overseas minister. So from the members or Hongwanji people in Hawaii, they send a petition asking Mother Temple, please send the official minister approved by Honzan. True or the real minister, please send from Japan to Hawaii. Then the Mother Temple, hearing this petition, they send also minister from Japan to Hawaii to investigate, to examine. Does Hawaii really need a minister? Is that worthy? Is that truly? Do you need a minister? So this minister came to Hawaii and they went to each island or talked to people, temple situation, and they finally said, yes, Hawaii is a place, occasion. We should send a minister. And then this first minister came to Hawaii as official Kaikyoshi overseas minister was Reverend Shoi Yamada. Yeah. And also with Reverend Yamada, another minister came. That was Reverend Honi Satomi. He was assigned as the first superintendent of missions, as like a chief person who take care of the entire missions. Then later he was called a bishop, as truly the spiritual head priest of missions in Hawaii. However, due to his health situation, he couldn't stay for longer. But he got another person as to succeed him or help him. That was the Reverend Emil Imamura. This is another person's name today we want to remember. Reverend Emil Imamura was the bishop, became a bishop later. So he is truly in a way, second founder of Hongwanji. So again, beginning was Reverend Soryu Kagahi. But now, thanks to the Reverend Emil Imamura, truly the Hongwanji flourished. Hongwanji's foundation was established. And the most temples now, we do have over 30 temples was built or established under Bishop Emil Imamura. So now the Bishop Emil Imamura was a truly amazing person. He was young and then so insightful, energetic, compassionate, and then so wise. So he had a vision. First, as education, he really put his effort into education. Yeah, basically, again, Hongwanji began with immigration from people from Japan to Hawaii. So Bishop Imamura realized, I get to help Japanese people, especially the Japanese language. So in those days, when again people from Japan came to Hawaii, only thinking maybe 2 or 3 years. After that, we go back to Japan. Therefore, for education of children, just they want to make sure even in Hawaii, they wanted their children to learn how to write Japanese, how to speak, so that when they're going back to Japan, they know those skills or language. Therefore, Bishop Imamura built the Japanese school for children. So in the morning, they go to public school. In the afternoon, they go to the Japanese school to study or to learn. Yeah, could be some of you may remember went to Japanese school and to study to learn. Then sometimes people tell me, "Oh, Reverend, yeah, I used to go to Japanese school, but I didn't learn anything." They said that they enjoy playing or nothing come here in this way. But some people again remember when going to Japanese school. But education was truly the key concept Bishop Imamura had. Also, English department. We may think, oh yeah, it's nothing special. We may think in that way. But again, if we remember, Hongwanji began with and then for Japanese people. So therefore, basically the target was only for Japanese people. Yeah, so therefore, we don't have to share teaching in English because main purpose is for Japanese people. But this is a amazing thing that Reverend Imamura, he had a vision. Although we are in a way from Japan and teaching, Buddhism teaching came to Hawaii from Japan. But, we are in here, Hawaii, America. We have to open to everyone. Could be now, it's true that if we can share the teaching with only Japanese people, we think, we are okay, doing good job. But look outside. We are not the only people who are living in this island of Hawaii. There are so many people, different people. We get to reach out. So then through his idea, he hired the Caucasian ministers and then teachers so that they can teach Buddhism to children and the young people beyond Japanese American, so that so many different people, they can understand, this is Buddhism. And then if you are familiar with the Golden Chamber Love, that also written in those days by the Dr. Hunt. They also wrote those Golden Chamber Love so that they can share in a simple language with the younger people and then to the larger public. Again, this is a wonderful thing. He had a vision and then insight. We get to reach out to beyond Hongwanji or Japanese people. Also with that idea, modern Buddhism. I think it is a similar idea. We get to think about not only within internally but also externally. The one of the thing is if you have been to Honpa Hongwanji Hawaii Betsuin in Honolulu, the Pali Highway Temple, if you see the temple, what we found is it's like a mixture of the different culture. The outside, it looks like an Indian building style with like a stupa, like a pointing, like a tower, circular, round, the top part. Looks like Indian style. But once you enter, you'll see pews and then like a podium. Looks like a Christian style. But the altar is Japanese style. So that is Bishop Imamura's vision. India means the origin of the Buddhism. Also the American or Catholic Christian style is symbolizing we are in America. But also the Japanese style is we keep our tradition. So we can say again his vision, although we are the teaching coming from Japan, Buddhism, but we want to have a root in this new country so that we can share the teaching. So we can see that is an effort. So also that is the reason why he wanted to focus on social issues, also visibility and then community. So again, on the 1900, yeah, they had a plan to have building a new temple, and then almost completed, and then begin to have a party or celebration. However, there was a illness spread, like a disease spread, like a pandemic in downtown Chinatown. So many people passing away and then burning houses, yeah. And that time, the Hongwanji and Bishop Imamura, they couldn't just like sit down. When they see people suffering through disease and then no house, homeless, now Hongwanji and then Bishop Imamura using their fund and their money to help those people, feeding or try to offer the place they can stay. So they couldn't have a celebration for their new temple, but could be simply how could we enjoy our party or gathering if there are so many people suffering. So this is also part of the Hongwanji's mission. We are not just only here for Japanese people or only Buddhism propagation. we also get help community or showing our visibility. So this is also still we can see Hongwanji, we try to be part of community. It's already we can find a seed or beginning. In those days already we try to offer helping hand or guidance as Hongwanji. There also another reason why Bishop Imamura tried to reach out, like inviting a famous scholar to talk about Buddhism. When he heard like a popular teacher or famous people who knows about Buddhism, when he heard, they are coming to Hawaii, he made an arrangement. Hey, can you come to our temple to talk about Buddhism? And then for that speaker who can speak in English, people came to listen, and those people were not only the members, but also the beyond Hongwanji tradition, from the people from community they came. So the reason why Bishop Imamura made an effort was because Buddhism was truly new something. Yeah, Buddhism was new to others. Therefore, for other people, they couldn't understand what is Buddhism. No idea. Something, the church or building was there, but we don't know what they are doing. They are saying or speaking language we don't know. They are chanting something we can understand. Yeah, so therefore there is a discrimination or judgmental perception was they had for Hongwanji. So this is the same to when Reverend Soryu Kagahi, when he came to Hawaii from Japan. He went to see some of the important people in Hawaii. And then one of them told him, hey, Reverend Kagahi, I know you came to Hawaii for your propagation, but I don't think you can do it because this is a place of the Christianity. Yeah, people don't believe in Buddhism. I don't think you can make it. That is an attitude or situation. Already the Christianity was here, so no way for Buddhism can survive or found a root. Knowing that again, therefore, Bishop Imamura understand if we just do things for only Japanese people or only something within, it is important, but if we only do something only within, there is no possibility, no chance people appreciate or understand Buddhism teaching. Therefore, again, he put the emphasis and then put his energy to do social issues or visibility and then community. And then one more thing was the YBA, Young Buddhist Association. So again, for the history of the Hongwanji is with immigration, those people who came to Hawaii from Japan. So basically, they were young. Like me, they were young. Yeah, they working so hard, but they need something. Yeah, they need something they can socialize. They can get together. Could be if you're watching this presentation, you may be together with your friends or family. How do you feel? Do you enjoy talking story or eating or drinking? Be together. We enjoy it. It could be nowadays, yeah, of course, we do have like a cell phone or we can play baseball, basketball. We have so many things which we can enjoy, amusement. But way back before, in those days, they don't have like a TV or cell phone, those kind. Only thing can be socialization, talk story with people. Then, as a Hongwanji, Bishop Imamura offered or creating a YBA, the group or organization, same kind of people, younger people get together and then talk story, study together, learn together. So this also the one of the important groups in the Hongwanji organization, Young Buddhist Association. Later, I'll share a few stories about Young Buddhist Association. But anyway, this Bishop Imamura served as a bishop 32 years. Can you imagine? 32 years he served as a bishop. So then, again, I said that nowadays in Hawaii, state of Hawaii, we have over 30 temples. Again, most temples were built or established under Bishop Imamura's guidance or leadership. So therefore, we can call him our second founder of Hongwanji in Hawaii. Then also another thing is the Mrs. Mary Foster. So Mrs. Mary Foster was a Buddhist, and then in the beginning, Hongwanji had a hard time because it's a truly new religion or tradition in a new place, new place where already people having a faith and then religion. So for Hongwanji, it's so difficult to how they can show themselves so that the people can appreciate or understand. Then this Mary Foster is truly the important person who helped Hongwanji and then community to be the bridge through her donation, the land, also the financial support. Hongwanji was able to purchase a land and build a temple, receiving so many assistance. Also, thanks to her, the Queen Leo colony, she also came to the Hongwanji service on May 19, 1902. One of the major service, we call it the Gotan-e, our founder's birthday, celebration of our founder's birthday. Again, can you imagine how excited it was here? Hongwanji was a new religion. People giving stink eyes. What is that? What is that teaching? But the Queen Leo colony and then Mary Foster, wow, went to that church or Buddhist temple. It may be something. So this again another effort, and how Bishop Imamura was so happy and so blessed, so honored to welcome those two people and then other people coming from the community. So this is one of the significant event happened in the history of Hongwanji. Again, how based on the truth of impermanence here, Bishop Imamura passed away in 1932. He had a heart attack. Then he passed away. Again, so after his passing away, what can happen is the succession. Yeah? He had a vision, insight. Then another bishop may have a different idea. Sometimes it may have the same vision or different. So one of the things can be the English department. So again, some ministers they realize we are spending so much money budget on English propagation, but thinking here, majority is Japanese people. The question can be, why do we have to spend such a money for English propagation? We don't have to do that. Some different opinion occurs. Then some bishops try to continue, but some maybe have to rethink about it. So there is, although Bishop Imamura showed the insight of vision, of course each bishop has a different idea. So it is said the English department tried to having a difficult time, but they try to continue to offer the English propagation. But some ministers, the Caucasian ministers, were left because of the some just simply different idea, different understanding about the agreement or idea about propagation. But after Bishop Imamura passing away, Hongwanji still tried to be alive and active. But we entered the World War II. And then that time, ministers and then temple and then those people were interned because they had, in a way, so has a power to teach people and then guiding people. Therefore, they are taking away from that temple. And then each temple has a history during the absence of the minister. there are members who took care of the temple, or there are a few ministers who were born in Hawaii as an American. Therefore, they were not taken away from the temple. So again, if you listen to this video, please maybe try to check your history of your temple. Who took care of your temple? Well, which minister was taken away from during World War II, and how difficult it was. But they endured even those years, discrimination, struggles, and so pains. But the temple was sustained by those people who showed their dedication. So this is something myself too get to remember. Without those people who show their commitment to sustain this temple, today we couldn't have this. And also the words of the go for broke, go for broke. And then our pastor bishop, Reverend Yoshiaki Fujitani, he was also the 442nd, the go for broke. And of course, thanks to them, they show their commitment and loyalty to the country. Thanks to them, the position or status of Japanese American was increased, thanks to their effort and then sacrifice. Now we are receiving a more higher reputation or position in our state or country, thanks to those people. And then for go for broke spirit or sacrifice, one of the story is that, so basically it is said that we do have a GI identification tag in Army. It said there are only three, like a C for Catholic, P for Protestant, J for Jewish, B for Buddhist. But as you can see, C and then P and then J existed, but there was no B. So one day there was a Buddhist minister of Hongwanji, and then he was told, hey, why don't you apply yourself for Buddhist chaplain? Could be if you become a Buddhist chaplain in Army, you can help your fellow people who are Buddhist, and then they can find a comfort in in their mission. So this minister applied for being a Buddhist chaplain, but his application was denied. The reason was, the answer was, in our army there are no Buddhists. There are no Buddhists in our army. Therefore, we don't need a Buddhist chaplain. So what it means is, still the Buddhism was not in a way accepted in a country or as a religion. Still, Buddhism was not gained the position or status as the part of the religion in the country. Then, however, again here the YBA, Young Buddhist Association, and then the minister, they realize it's something wrong. Those people, for a second, those people, they truly spend their life and then time and then tears and then blood for your country. And then they are in a way treated with a wrong religious identification. Then after conversation and then petition, and then finally the B for Buddhist was approved. So when they wear the identification tag, now finally they can have a B for Buddhist. Also in a similar way, if you have a chance to go to like a Alai Cemetery or Homelani, if you see the graveyard, you can see the names and then person, date of birth, date of death. And you may see like a mark, can be the cross or something religious mark, which showing this person's religion was this and then that. So same as a identification tag, before they didn't have a mark for Buddhist. So therefore, some the people who serve in the army or their mission, when they passing away, although they are Buddhist, there is no mark for Buddhist. So could be they may give like a cross or a different mark, because again, there is no understanding that Buddhism is a part of religion. But for here again, the Young Buddhist Association, those people had a discussion, went to the conversation with a certain department. Also internationally, there was a movement to approve this Wheel of Dharma as a Buddhist symbol for internationally. So receiving this news, the YBA, Young Buddhist Association, talked to the department in Army and explained. And then finally, it was again approved. Okay, now Wheel of Dharma will be engraved on the gravestone to symbolizing, to tell you are Buddhist. So these are again the story. Yeah? Gradually, the Buddhism receiving the position and then understanding from the country, thanks to those people's effort. So again, if you have a chance to go to any place of the graveyard, pay attention to the Wheel of Dharma. It's not something we take for granted, but there is a history. Oh, there are some people who couldn't have this mark, but thanks to those effort and then commitment, now people can receive the Wheel of Dharma. And there also some other story. Again, did you know that the Buddha Day was adapted not as holiday but holiday in 1960s? Yeah. So again, this is again the young Buddhists. They had an idea. We have a Christmas and then other holiday based on the religion. Why not we do have as a Buddhist have a Buddha Day as our holiday? But although they had made an effort receiving the petition and then signed signatures from the community, they couldn't make the Buddha Day as a holiday, but it becomes the holiday. Yeah, holiday. Of course, this is not like a day of the rest or no vacation, but at least try to acknowledge Buddha Day in this state. Also, Peace Day is also became the state day in Hawaii, 2017. Yeah? In the United Nations, try to promote peace and then designated September 21st as Peace Day. And then from the Hongwanji, this time the junior YBA. So teenagers, junior YBA, they discussed, hey, let's have a Peace Day in Hawaii. So they talked to write a draft and then sending to the department and then discussed. And then finally making the Hawaii the first state in the USA to recognize September 21st as Peace Day. This movement began from the junior YBA of Hongwanji. So this is like some of the wonderful actions Hongwanji young people they took. And then now we receiving this benefit or it's part of our culture or system we are now receiving. There also, again, as Bishop Imamura had a vision for education. Education was the key word, key term. So that we can have a minister, not only coming from Japan, but we try to have a minister from within locally. To do that, education is the key. Then one of the result was establishing the Buddhist Studies Center from 1972. So they had three purposes. One is a center where UH Manoa students could meet. So if you have a chance, please go this place. This is truly near or corner of the UH Manoa campus. So truly the good location. So the purpose could be the students can come to BSC to study or to meet each other, or this center can go to the campus to do some event or some gathering. Second is a ministerial training center, again to nurture, to educate the local people, so they may also want to become a minister. And the third is a study center where Buddhist lecture, seminars could be held. So these are the three purposes that the Buddhist Study Center hold. So truly this is a part of the important institution in Hawaii, publishing books, offering lectures so that they can reach out so many people in the community too. There are also other things that Hongwanji doing is Living Treasures from 1976. So this is a program recognize those people who quietly practiced their craft to enhance the lives of others. So this is like a program, Living Treasure. There are so many people in Hawaii who are good at like music, art, flower, education, so many things, who truly helping the Hawaiian culture community. So through acknowledgement, their work and then how they live their life, that we want to inspire other people so that we can help each other develop the Hawaiian culture, helping people's life too. So this is also one of the once a year we observe in February. Then usually we having like 600 people coming to one place in a Honolulu hotel, and they're also having a mayor or governor came too. So one of the special community can be a community event sponsored by Hongwanji to show our acknowledgement, and also people can know it. We have such a wonderful people here in Hawaii. So if you know, we Puna Hongwanji, we also having started to have a Sangha Service Award. We call it the Distinguished Sangha Service Award. This is also the part of got the idea from this Living Treasure. Yeah, we often extend appreciation or acknowledgement often after people passed away. Only after people passing away we say condolence or sending appreciation. But we realize, why don't we do now? Before somebody passing away, we should do now so that we can really show appreciation to this person, and the other member can realize, oh, this person, this member have done this much for temple and community. Then we hope that it will inspire other people to take actions. Wow, what can I do? What can I do for this temple? What can I do for people, to help people? That was, again, one of the idea or reason we began to have our own program is because of this Living Treasures. Then other program we do as Hongwanji it is at the Projecto Dana. This began in 1989. That this is an interfaith volunteer caregiver program. This is simply truly helping others who may need help. This can be simply as a transportation or shopping or phone calling, writing a letter. So Dana means selfless giving without expecting anything in return. Yeah, like a kokua. If you need help, let me help you. That will become a program, interfaith volunteer caregiver program. Again, even at the Puna Hongwanji, we do have this Project Dana program. So if your client and then if you are somebody who may need help, could be you can contact us. We can discuss and then talk about how we may help you. Or if you're currently volunteer, Thank you so much for your time and helping. Your action truly making the other person smile. So thank you so much for helping others. So this is again another program as Hongwanji we have. Also again because the Bishop Imamura, he really focused on education. Education is a key element for Hongwanji. Then we do have a Japanese school, but finally in 1949, Hongwanji Mission School was established. This is the first Buddhist English grade school. Then it became available for students up until the 8th grade. So from preschool to 8th grade. Finally, now we do have a Buddhist education system. We can teach the meaning of Buddhism. So this school does not mean to convert, but truly share, educating children so that they can understand the teaching of Buddhism. Universal teaching like compassion, kindness, patience, helping each other, so that we can see in our state of Hawaii in the world, there are people who knows the value of Buddhism, so that we can make a difference in the world guided by teaching of Buddha. Then could be we may be wondering, so it's only up to your 8th grade. So question or the idea Hongwanji had was, could be preschool to 8th grade. We can offer education based on Buddhism. But from high school, now there are no school based on Buddhism. So therefore, even student children went through the Buddhist education. But from high school, they may go to other schools, which is not based on Buddhism. So Hongwanji wanted to offer another school or from 9th grade. Then that was we call it the Pacific Buddhist Academy, PBA, was established in 2003. So this is to prepare students for college through academic excellence, to enrich their lives with Buddhist values, and to develop their courage to nurture peace. So by having this PBA, now we can have truly from preschool to high school, the Buddhist education system. So in this way, we can see from the beginning, Bishop Imamura had a vision and an aspiration. Education is really important. Then finally, in this way, we were able to have and then prepare education based on Buddhism. Then we can imagine, although this school is in Honolulu, could be the students may go to mainland or coming to neighbor island. And then if we can see, hey, I went to Hongwanji school. I know I learned Buddhism. We can see in the world, there are people who appreciate and who practice the Buddhism teaching. It's a wonderful thing. Just for your information, PBA will having a Taiko Festival, Taiko performance event on the March 13 Sunday. So if you search PBA, you can get a ticket or you can be sponsored to help their event. So this is a wonderful school. We can teach and we can share the wonderful teaching of Buddhism with the young people, teenager. Okay, now for the going to conclusion. So again, as the Honpa Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii from March 2, 1889. So these are some summary and then some information. So Hongwanji means the temples of Amida's vow. Temple of Amida's vow. And then we can go back to although as Hawaii, Hongwanji in Hawaii, our beginning was March 2nd, 1889, but we can go back to more way before. We have Shinran Shonin. He is our founder of Hongwanji tradition. We call it 1224 is the year of establishment of Hongwanji. So yeah, today is 2022, therefore 850th years anniversary in 2024. Yeah, such a long history. Yeah. So although again in Hawaii we have about more than 130 years, but we are part of such a long history, more than 800 years. Then in Japan, more than 10,000 temples and then 30,000 ministers in Japan are affiliated to Hongwanji-ha. Can you imagine 10,000 temples and then 30,000 ministers only in Japan? Also, this teaching does not exist not only in Japan, but the mainland, Canada, South America, Europe, Australia, Mexico, Taiwan, Nepal. So there we have an organization group in the world. Then in Hawaii, now we do have 30 plus temples in Hawaii. And then over here, Big Island, we do have 12 temples now. So they are Hilo, Papaiko, Honomu, Honohina Paparoa, Kamuera, Pauiro, Honoka, Kohara, Kona, Narefu, Pahara, Puna. So of course there are some temples which disappeared or closed or merged. But now we do have 12 temples on this big island. So could be again, you may have your own connection or memories with Hongwanji. That can be through bone dance or funeral and then memorial service or preschool or bazaar or cinder cell or wedding, Japanese school or another cinder cell and then more. So it could be again, you may have a connection with Hongwanji. And then oftentimes when I had a service, people tell me, "Oh, Reverend, I used to come to Hongwanji on Sunday. Yeah, I had no choice. My mom or dad said, let's go to church on Sunday. I didn't want to go, so sleepy. And then when I came here, I don't know what they are talking about. They are chanting some in Japanese or they are speaking in message in Japanese. So I couldn't understand. But I have to come to Sunday service here. They are sharing. Then later they said, and then after I grown up, I didn't come. But I have good memories with Hongwanji. So again, if you think about it, could be you were a member or you are a member or you have some memories with Hongwanji. Or you may belong to Hongwanji out of your respect for your parents or family. Whatever reason can be, could be today's occasion to rediscover, to find the meaning or essence and the joy of Hongwanji Temple. So even like a Sunday service here, if again you come here, could be you can find something. We may think, no, I don't have to come, but if you think about, we do have a history of more than 800 years. And then in Hawaii, from 1889, there are people, minister members who truly protected, who take over and then cherish and appreciate it. There's something there. So could be it's a good occasion through this Hongwanji Day, including myself, to think about what is a juicy part. Why Hongwanji is here in Hawaii? Why people made a donation from their pocket money or coming to temple, church, cleaning, helping volunteer? Why people come to temple? So then as a final conclusion, that is truly for this reason. So this is coming from the words from the book. They said the limitless, the limitless light and then life of the Dharma. the boundless wisdom and then compassion of Amida Buddha, constantly working in our lives through the power of the Hongam, Amida's great vow that assures us all of Buddhahood, of becoming one with the Nimbutsu, will never abandon us, will always be our absolutely dependable refuge. So this is we call it the Namo Amida Butsu. So you can see the statue of Buddha over there. So from the 1889, there are people who, like me and then like you, placing our hands together in this and then say, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. We are in a different generation, different society, different situation, different condition, but we are doing same thing, placing our hands together and then Namo Amida Butsu. Beyond the space and then time, we are experiencing the same thing. This Namo Amida Butsu is truly the treasure from the Shinran Shonin and then from the Japan and then to Hawaii. And now thanks to past ministers, members, could be even your ancestors too, they were part of the history, like a thread, connection. Then their aspiration, their hope, their wish is now coming here. So when we can place our hands together, not only because of me, but because of the beginning and those people who protected and then who truly put their effort, wishing for us, so that the new generation to come, they can also receive it. And what is that? Again, that is we call Buddha's compassion wisdom. Observing we are human being going through so many pains and then struggles. Therefore, Amida Buddha exists. Amida Buddha exists to save me from suffering, guiding me to the Pure Land, so that we can be freed from suffering. And then truly we can live our life, not driven by our ego or attachment, but truly we can seek and then live, guided by Buddha's truth, true enlightenment. So again, it does not mean if we listen to the teaching, we can change and become a pure kind of person. Still we do have inside of us, we do have a human nature of suffering or ignorance or attachment there. But difference is now we do have a direction, guidance. We may go to this way, that way, up and then down, but now we're receiving the directions. That is what we call true and then real. Embrace of Amida Buddha. We can imagine again in those history of the immigration and then they went through so much. But they found the spiritual foundation. They found a shelter, refuge. Our life will be so swayed by everyday life and then not always happy, but now we receive the home. We can return anytime. Then we can receive the direction with a calling voice. It's okay. I understand it. Come as you are, come as you are. That becomes the inner strength and the inner power people received, and then helping people in those days endure things. But the truly observe this is life. When they losing their baby or separation, illness, discrimination, so many suffering. Even that time, they experienced warm embrace of Namo Amida Butsu. Truly once embrace you, never forsaken. Then now again, myself too, we are going through things, but there is truly the Buddha's embrace. So this is again Namo Amida Butsu. We are receiving as Hongwanji, and then we want to share this joy, like our past ministers, and then they are doing. So again, we said that today is Hongwanji Day Observance. So again, we are seeing the March 2nd, 2022 to have this day. We needed the beginning. I hope, again, of course, I cannot share everything about our rich history. I only shared only part of it. But once we truly realize that's right, today we can have this day because of the beginning. And then those people who made an effort and they made a commitment, we feel so grateful. Also, maybe from today, another 100 later, could be there are people who will do the same thing to me or you. Oh, thanks to you for open a Hongwanji. Hey, thank you so much for maintaining the temple. Thank you so much for taking care of the building. Thanks to you today, we can have this temple. So today again, we are here today receiving the wish from past and then aspiration for the future. Everything is here. And our motivation or reason why I want to share teaching is because of the joy. Joy of Namo Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha found me. Amida Buddha embracing me. Indeed, Amida Buddha opened my eyes. And then yet forever guiding my life. Therefore, this joy, let us receive, and in this joy, we can encounter our past members and the ministers, everything in this Namo Amida Butsu. So in that way, today Hongwanji Day is a wonderful day for me. And then also again, if you had any memories or connection with Hongwanji, could be this Sunday, you can take your time to go to your Hongwanji temple near you. Yeah, of course, could be you may have to check with if they are open. But the Puna Hongwanji this Sunday, we open our temple in person. So please try to come to Hongwanji and then experience the teaching, the chanting together, and then Buddha's calling voice, so that you are also part of the rich history of Hongwanji, and then we can share this joy so that every single person truly can find comfort, peace, and then tranquility in their life. That is our wish and Amida Buddha's wish. As a conclusion, let us recite the Namo Amida Butsu together. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Again, thank you so much. So this was the Hongwanji Day